Good afternoon and welcome back. In this video, we'll walk through the Prism Element Home Dashboard. The Prism Element Home Dashboard is your centralized control center for managing your Nutanix cluster. This is the first screen you'll see upon logging into Prism, providing a dynamic, real-time overview of your cluster's health, performance, and alerts. Let's walk through its key components and how to navigate them effectively. The home dashboard is divided into four main sections or pillars. The first being the cluster details widgets. The second is going to be performance related widgets, followed by health widgets, and then lastly, your alerts and events. Let's explore each of these sections in more detail. The cluster details widgets displays basic information such as the installed hypervisor and the version of that hypervisor. The Nutanix Cloud Platform is hypervisor agnostic, supporting AHV, which is the Nutanix hypervisor, ESXi for VMware, and then Hyper-V for Microsoft, reducing vendor lock-in risk. Prism Central widget. This indicates whether the cluster is connected to Prism Central. If it is connected, you can launch Prism Central directly from this widget by clicking the launch button. The storage summary. This little widget provides an overview of your logical and your physical storage, just high level overview. Next here we have the VM summary. The VM summary displays the number of virtual machines on the cluster, categorized by their state, such as on, off, suspended, or paused. And then lastly, we have the cluster hardware summary. It shows the number of nodes and blocks and chassis that are within your cluster. Now let's move on to the second pillar here. By default, Prism Element displays a number of performance charts and statistics on the home dashboard designed to help assess cluster performance at a glance. So here we'll see things like cluster-wide controller IOPS, latency information, and then high-level cluster CPU and memory usage. The third pillar is going to be your health-related widgets. These widgets display the health status of the cluster and its components. So a high-level overview of overall cluster health. And notice here that we use a stoplight system of good, warning, and critical to give us visual indicators of environmental health. Scrolling down reveals the health status of things like your host, services, protection domains, VMs, and your storage containers and disk. And then lastly, we have the data resiliency status, which summarizes the number and types of failures the cluster can withstand based on certain configurations. Then the last pillar here, the alerts and events widgets, is going to provide that real-time updates and activities and issues that are requiring attention. So we'll display the most recent unresolved alerts in separate categories of critical alerts, warning alerts, and informational alerts, as well as the events widget here, which will display the total number of events on the cluster and all this high level event and alerting information. Now that you understand the Prism Element Home Dashboard, you're ready to dive deeper into other dashboards. In the next lesson, we'll explore the storage dashboard.